Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a NFT horror, cursed images, movies, VeVe, finance, and more. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. And we have some of the stars here today, Mariah and Durassi.
Yeah, Jurassic, nailed it.
Oh, all right, cool. Wasn't that bad. We have a couple people here today. Old Jim Films saying howdy, let's go. Sven Donjin saying good evening, all. This Pokemon card over there. So we've started now. We've had one of these before with the director and a couple of the other actors, and now you guys here to kind of round us out. One we did before the premiere. Now we're doing one. When did it start? I think the movie started landing in LA a couple days ago.
Yeah, literally Wednesday. Yeah, was the premiere. And then live today on streaming platforms, so Amazon Prime and Apple TV. So yeah, I think there are a couple more of those in there, but yeah, live today.
All right, I'm gonna have to go in and does it? I guess it's obviously going to be better if you go like to the theaters and see it, but if you order it on the on Amazon Prime, does the revenues from that still go to you guys, or do you know the breakdown percentage?
That's a great question. I'm not sure, to be honest, the logistics. I believe so. Yeah, I believe a portion does, but yeah, I'll have to go back and read my contract.
I think it's definitely an old Jim Films question. But we can actually definitely check it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I will 100% go in and do that. I think tonight. No, maybe tomorrow. Because tonight I have a very busy night. But tomorrow I should be able to do that. I'll do a review of it. If it was on YouTube, I could do like a watch along. Have you guys ever done one of those?
No, I haven't. Yeah,
those
it sounds interesting, then.
Yeah, because you get like everyone can join me like watching the movie at the same time. But like they have to buy the movie in order to do it.
Oh, okay.
So that's really fun. It's really wild to do with, especially when you like get a little tipsy, get a little drunk, and then you just start
watching.
Yeah, that's always good. I do whenever I go to the theaters. I do like to have like the last one I saw was Send Help. Have you guys seen that?
Oh yeah, is that the new Rachel McAdams movie? Yeah. I've seen the trailer, but I've not watched it yet. But it looks really good.
Yeah, love her. Good movie.
Yeah, she's great.
Is this something that you would recommend that I go? Because I like drinking at movie theaters in general, but is this something that you guys would recommend? Be like, yeah, you should totally have a drink or two to ease.
Oh yeah,
it's a little scary.
So I'm from the United States, where it's like alcohol is not allowed in cinemas. But the lovely thing about London is that we can drink wine, beer, whatever in the cinema. So I mean, yeah, definitely. I now that I live in London, I don't ever go to the cinema without having a drink. But I think it's quite a fun one to do. Like I think any horror movie to get a little bit tipsy and because it's just an enjoyable film. As well as being a bit of like jump scares and scariness happening. So I think it's a good one to like, have a couple before you go.
When was the last time you've been to the US?
Oh, gosh, last year okay. I went when my sister had her baby. In fact, she is watching it with her husband tonight. So that's fun.
Very cool. Because it's you've been able to drink in theaters for at least 5 years now, maybe like.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm from the deep south, so maybe they haven't implemented it there yet. So
that's possible.
Yeah.
Jurassic, where are you from?
Me, I grew up in Sweden actually. Not the most obvious thing, but yeah. I'm from Stockholm.
Okay, I am not sure if I've been there. I go to Europe every couple of years. And I'm just gonna lie, I'm pretty drunk for most of it, and I take train everywhere, fly everywhere. I don't know where, because some in the U.S. wherever you go, you kind of like get your passport stamped, but sometimes when you take the train from one place to another, you don't really get your passport stamped. So I cannot remember where I've been. Um, I heard it's great though.
I know sometimes, like with the trains and like everything, you can technically get it stamped, but you have to ask for it. And I always do. I always ask. I'm always a nuisance. So
Yeah, I don't do that very often enough, you know, because I've been to a few places where they just stamp your passport, and then like, you know, where you travel to different countries in almost like one go. And in one place they stamp your passport, and then you move on to the next destination. You're like, oh, I didn't get a stamp on this one. So you do sort of like think it's like a common thing, like, because it's quite nice to go over your passport. And you're like, okay, you know, collect
So
stamps.
I imagine there's some in different parts of the country, but as far as Stockholm, do you guys have any cryptids? Do you guys have any local lore where it's like, yeah, this one monster or this one thing eats livestock, and you know?
Oh, good question. I would say, do you know what? Like, it's not something I've really like tapped into. However, because Scandinavia or the Nordic region, it's such a, when it comes to like the mysticism, there's a lot of like mysticism there. You know, like trolls, it's like a big thing. And you got like Moomin from Finland.
When you say trolls, I'm thinking of like the little tiny things, or like the cave troll from Lord of the Rings or Harry
Both of
Potter.
it, like all of it. Yeah, like I think watching Lord of the Rings, it's like quite kind of reminiscent to like all of the stories you heard when you were a child, really. So I think because of that, because like people from the Nordic region grew up with that type of superstition, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Okay, because I am very curious about that. Mariah, in the last, I think it was 2 months ago, I'm going to try to find the link if I can. It was from your country. It was the Bank of England was told to prepare for a market crash if the United States announced alien life. It was Helen McCaw, who served as a senior analyst in the financial security at the UK Central Bank, sounded the alarm. She wrote to Andrew Bailey, the bank's governor, urging him to organize contingencies for the possibility that the White House may confirm we are not alone in the universe. And then literally like I think like the next month, Trump had ordered the government to release classified files on aliens, UFOs, UAPs, etc. Are you guys as obsessed with aliens as we are in the US?
I can't speak for all of England, but my boyfriend, who's English, is obsessed. I mean, he's one of those people that watches like conspiracy theory videos constantly.
Can we get him on? I love that.
He's actually working at the moment in the next few weeks, so I'm sure we could get him on. But he's massive, like he's a bit camera shy. He's a film producer, so he's not much of an act in front of the camera. Anish, do you want to come say hello for a sec?
Darasa, you same thing. How do you guys feel on aliens?
If I'm thinking of my social circle, I would say no. However, conspiracy theories, yes, I do have a few friends who definitely sort of like tap into that. So I wouldn't say aliens, no, but I feel like it's quite adjacent, because obviously if you tap into conspiracy theories or whatever is considered as a conspiracy theory nowadays, it's quite adjacent, isn't it?
So there in this movie you have.
Here.
Oh, is he here?
So this is the boyfriend.
Hi, everyone. I hear you like aliens. I hear you're a big fan. Same.
I am a little bit, yeah. I'm a believer. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
He's constantly talking about it.
Oh my God, yeah. How do you feel about Trump ordering the government to release classified info on aliens, extraterrestrial life, and UAPs? What are your thoughts?
I'm super stoked. I'm just not sure why he hasn't done it yet. I'm waiting for the day he actually does it.
I know. I think maybe we have to get close to the Epstein files, and then that'll drop as a big distraction.
I'm well open to this distraction. Please distract me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit obsessed. Yeah.
I wouldn't say obsessed.
Yeah, he is. I mean, literally conspiracy video, and I get so many of them sent to me as well. So of course, yeah. But I'm a believer as well. I'm a believer from a scientific perspective. I think it's improbable statistically that we're the only living beings in the universe.
What do you make about not multiverse, but what do you think that simulation theory that we're all just bits of code of ones and zeros?
That like it freaks me out too much.
Same.
I choose to ignore that, to be honest, even though it could be a reality.
I don't take Lucy anymore because of that, because I felt like I got too close to being like AI, like it's all AI, and I felt like I was just a piece of organic material with a chip put into it, and this is all. So yeah, that's a little scary. But Durassi, we get a little too woo-woo for you, or we get a little too like you guys are insane. Is that a puppy?
Yeah, he's our dog. He'll come say hi. Come here. You wanna say hi to the people?
Oh, baby.
Look, Joey.
Oh, what's his name?
Joey.
Hey, Joey.
Anything we're doing, he's got to be interested in. So
He seems very like comfortable in front of the camera. It's like he knows his angles as well.
yeah, he does.
Durassi, you got any pets?
So me?
Yeah.
No, unfortunately not. I am a dog travert. Like I am a complete self-confessed dog travert. I would rather hang out with your dog than you. Like figuratively speaking. Like I was like figuratively speaking. So yeah. I love dogs.
Okay,
Yeah.
you want to go back down?
So out of what we've been talking about, whether it's cryptids, aliens, or whatever, there's supposedly 6,666 of, or I guess in the movie there's 666 of them, right? There's not 6,000.
Yes.
Are they? How many of them are things that like, oh, you would know this one from like, because it's a big cryptid versus like this is one we made up for the movie. How many do we see?
Do you know what's really interesting? Because obviously the character I was portraying, Dan, like he researches all of them. So I would say, I'm thinking like, how much can I really say? Like, but when I was looking into these to these NFTs and these figures, because a lot of them were based on old superstitions, old folklores and superstitions around the world, and it kind of struck me how some of them actually are, well, I would say valid. They've been there for like generations, like years, hundreds of years. Quite a few of them. Like for instance, if I can say, like one of the NFTs is in Japanese called the Jorogomo. It's not very helpful me sort of trying to translate which one it was. I think it's the one that Julia receives in the film, who's the obviously Mariah's best friend in the film. So I think she receives a character called the Jorogomo, and I did some research on that. It's like a old Japanese like folkloric ghost creature. And once you start doing like the research on it, you kind of fall into this rabbit hole a little bit. Quite a few of those actually were just quite dense in terms of like the information that you got from them.
Apparently we see 8 creatures in the film, and I'm very curious because I think you only see like 2 in the trailer, so I'm curious to see what other ones we get.
Yeah, I hope I don't like spoil the surprise or anything about it.
No,
I
think
yeah.
So that'll be so fun to see. I'll take a drink every time I see one.
Yeah, dude.
I'll have
on the floor.
So again, I heard in LA it did pretty well. Do you know how many days or weeks it's open in there for?
I don't know how many days we're staying there. I think that they're currently working on doing some more days and potentially more cinemas within that area. It did really, really well as far as like getting butts and seats. So I think tickets sold right around like just over like 65-70% of like the seating, which is really good because I mean it was more than the neighboring cinema, which is a massive film. So it was really, really good. Like and I think the overall consensus from like what we've been kind of seeing online and like people who were there and watched it and you know, made a review about it or a post about it. It all seems to be like quite positive stuff. And apparently someone in the cinema actually screamed a few times, so all good, you know. So yeah, I think it's doing pretty well. So yeah.
Okay, that's dope. Are you any of you guys planning to go to like a premiere, whether it's in like I guess London, that would make sense. Darcy, are you living in London too?
Yeah, I live in London.
Okay, so do you know when it premieres there?
Nothing's confirmed yet. They are looking at venues around London, but it might be closer to late spring, so it might be around May time potentially.
Okay.
Yeah, late April, May, and I think there's talk of potentially a cinema in New York, a screening in New York, potentially.
I might
but
go to
they
that.
are looking for cinemas in New York, so we'll see about that.
Yeah, I do travel a bit. I wonder. This is going way back. I forget the name of the movie. But it was they've made like Paranormal Activity. Like they made a commercial, and they had people like call your local cinema to see if you can get, you know, this movie, and it worked. Like it opened in a bunch. Do you guys know how many people would have to call a cinema before it's like, okay, we're gonna do it, stop calling? Like how many times do we have to annoy them?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like in the US, at least in my home area, I reckon I could get so many people to, and luckily the main cinemas in that area are all owned by one family. They're dotted all over Arkansas, which is where I'm from, and I believe in Tennessee as well. So I don't know, but I'm tempted to release the masses on them to like be like, hey, can you get this film? So
I would guess so. If each person who might have like, I don't know, 5 contacts each in that specific region, and you reach out to those 5 contacts, like each person, and they just commit to doing it, then I think that would just definitely suffice, wouldn't it?
Okay. I feel like I could get this in like a couple of places.
Yeah, sure.
Also, when you said Arkansas, I've been to Rogers, Arkansas.
oh yeah.
Is that close to where you were?
Not close, but I mean, I feel like in the States, especially in, you know, Arkansas, Oklahoma, those kinds of areas, everyone drives. So like Rogers is not that far. So I'm from Alma, which is like kind of near Fort Smith, Fayetteville area. So Rogers is not that far. Yeah. So. Yeah,
I was there visiting a lady friend, and she took me to this insane Walmart. Like it was, I guess Arkansas is like the capital of Walmart.
Yeah,
and
it's the birthplace of Walmart. And I think Tyson Foods too, yeah.
We went, and it was open 24. We went, I figured like there was I was surprised it was open at like 2:30 in the morning, but then also it was like there was people there too. Like it wasn't just like a skeleton crew. Like there was, like it was middle of the day. It was weird.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, they used to be anyway. They were 24 hours, like even open on Christmas. So like there are no days it's closed, like, or hours. Yeah. So even if it's icy weather, apparently they're like stays open. So yeah.
Imagine doing the graveyard shift. Wow.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Imagine doing the graveyard shift.
Well, if there's people there, I mean, it's probably more fun the less people there are there, because then you can kind of goof off a little bit. You can like, I don't know, take one of like the bouncy ball, like play with it. I don't know. I'd get bored if there wasn't anything to do.
Yeah.
Hopefully there is.
I remember when I was little, my mom and like my best friend's mom, like depending on who was having the sleepover, I remember we used to put roller skates on, and we would go for like midnight. Like it'd be a Friday, so we got to stay up late. So it was like midnight, and she'd let us roller skate. I don't think you could probably do that anymore because they're afraid like of a lawsuit or whatever. But we used to like roller skate to go pick out our candy. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I never worked in a Walmart. There's a bunch of friends of mine that worked in a Target. There was a Target in town I grew up, and it was a big Target, and we knew like the radio station that they were on, because they would say like, okay, hey, who's over in electronics? And be like, oh, I am. All right, okay, copy. So every time we would sit in the parking lot with another radio, and every time someone said copy, we'd take a drink. Or if they said copy, we'd like finish our drink, and it was great. It was a good fun thing to do as a teenager. But
you're
so
just you're just coming through with the drinking games.
Yeah, I didn't meet. So this wasn't my fault. Like, so my subscribers had made a drinking game where every time I make a pop culture reference, if they get it, they're good. But if they didn't get it, they take a drink. And the rules became weird. I say some of the same things a lot. Like if something's wild, I'll say like it's bananas. So every time I would say that, people would take a drink. I don't know how many people play it anymore, especially because the streams are usually a few hours.
That's good. That's good. We love a good drinking game.
Yeah, it was fun. So if, again, it's doing fairly well. It seems that you'll be in the black at some point. You'll be going in and you'll make some money. Hopefully there's a part 2. I remember back in the day, the first 2 like high school musicals were just like on TV. But then the third one actually went to like theaters and had like a major release. If this builds a lot of hype, and that was like the internet was kind of so small 20 years ago. Now that there's like a lot of big hype, if you guys get the chance to do not only a second one, but it to be like a bigger production, would you guys travel for it? Is that something? Because the director mentioned that a lot of you guys had day jobs as well, and that might, because you guys are doing a lot of night shoots, or it was all at night. Would you guys be open to traveling? Or is it like, we'll kind of stay in our lane here?
I mean, I would definitely be keen to travel. And I'm thinking about the possibilities as well, because Jonas, the director, he's Brazilian. And I know that he's got connections through LA, well, the US, as well as, of course, Brazil. I believe that he's actually worked both, in the US and in Brazil as well. So I think there could be a possibility there. Like, so I could technically see that happening if that came to fruition. But yeah, I'd definitely be keen on it. Yeah, especially going to Brazil. Right. Yeah.
What were you, Mariah?
Yeah, same. I mean, like, I think it would, if it hopefully builds hype and, continues going the way that it's going, I think absolutely, yeah. And Jonas is a good friend and, a really talented director. So yeah, of course I would. In fact, I think when we originally, before we ever started making this film, we did like a little tiny short snippet and to kind of raise funding for the film and, get some people on board. And I think Jonas literally came to me with just the script. I think I was one of the first people that he approached. And so he was like, hey, what do you think? Like, would you do it? And I was like, yeah, like this actually sounds like a good egg here. So yeah. I love working with Jonas. I think he's a great director. And I always love like the new ideas that he has. And he's a very open-minded director as well. So yeah, of course I would, and I'd be so stoked to travel or do another film with him. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I told him that I would, if he was open to doing one, as long as crypto hits, and we'll go into the NFTs and crypto market in a bit. But as long as that hits, I should be able to. I told him I'd like do the next film. Like I'd go in and just pay for it. And then I obviously like hopefully get the money back, but it'd be fun too. Like, so I maybe I'd travel to y'all. I don't know if it would be in the same location. Maybe I don't know where. Were any of the locations that you guys filmed on, were any of them like haunted, or is it just like it was just a random location and you made it haunted?
Oh, that is a good question. I'm not sure. Yeah, like I'm not sure how much you know about this, Maria, because obviously you had a little bit of a hand in the production side. But I would, I have to be honest, I'm too scared to actually find out. I just like, to me, ignorance is bliss. But he did sure make it feel really haunted, especially dance scenes. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't necessarily shoot in anything haunted per se, but London is such an old city. It's such an old place, and the majority of like flats and buildings that you film in are hundreds, sometimes even like hundreds and hundreds of years old. So I think even one of the pubs here is as old as Jack the Ripper. So, like I'm sure there were plenty of places that, kind of warrant that, like, or some of even the streets and the canals and those kinds of things have stories tied to them. But it's such an old city, and even the building that I live in is old, so I'm sure that there are some stories tied to them. And I recently, me and my boyfriend we went and saw Paranormal Activity on the West End. They've done like a show, which is terrifying, absolutely terrifying, and it scared us enough that we now think our flat is a little bit haunted. So yeah, it did keep us up for a few nights, because you hear all these, with how old everything is, you always hear like creaks and the building move a bit or the windows rattle. So yeah.
I get that too in the place I'm in. There's I don't know if I have it, maybe it's under my popular shorts, but there's oh yes, I do. We're gonna make it the most popular, and it's my little doggo. He's looking at something, and and like he does this all the time. He looks at something and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And we just, so anyway, a little black pug.
My dog does the same.
How do we as humans know there's nothing there? Like, how do we just, anyway.
I don't know. I mean cats, I feel like cats see stuff as well, but I don't know if you've ever seen the video. I forget the guy's name. He takes one of those levelers that like construction people use to see if like the level, like those red lines, and he says if you look into it, he says you have to smoke DMT, so that I'm going to preface that with having to smoke an illegal substance. Nobody do it unless you want to. And then you look into like the light, and they say like you see another universe, you see code, you see like you look down it, you look up it, you see these inscriptions that are like alien code, and everyone that does it sees it. And then in the comments of like a TikTok video, they're like, yeah, did you ever wonder why the infrared goggles are green? And me being from the military, I was like, well, yeah, they are green, and it's annoying and it sucks. And it's like, because apparently back in the day, the red infrared goggles that the military would use, you would see like some off the wall stuff, and it was like, that's why they don't use it anymore, is people were like freaking out, and pilots were firing at things that weren't there, and it was, yeah, so that's why we have the green infrared. But part of the reason I asked is because if I kind of want, and I know like acting is like the job, like we have to act scared, we have to act this, but if I'm gonna help like make the second one, I want to go and like film in like a haunted castle in like Germany, or film in like a haunted place in like Guam or something. And I just want to know who'd be open to doing that, or if you'd be like, Chavez, you're crazy, we're not doing it.
I mean, I think the idea of filming somewhere like Guam, which feels really remote, like somewhere in the Pacific, that's quite daunting. That's way more daunting than like filming in a castle somewhere in, I don't know, Scotland, or I don't know, Serbia, for instance. So that's like, wow, okay.
I think would also go remote. Oh, sorry, yeah, Maura.
I mean, I always find like things that have kind of a history or like a beautiful surrounding and that kind of thing. I think, yeah, it does sound daunting, but they're usually some of the best places to shoot. They have a lot of character, and like they end up coming across on film so well. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, our director's just said I'm down for filming in a haunted jungle in Brazil. So yeah.
I feel like with the jungle, you have to deal with like snakes and things that can kill, like, and not saying that ghosts or entities can't kill you, because I'm sure there are cases, but I mean, like, that's like documented cases of people losing their.
Have you seen the new Anaconda?
No.
great. It's wonderful. Well, I grew up on that film like way back when with like, you know, J-Lo and I
Yeah.
stuff. So, but like the new one is with Paul Rudd and Jack Black is so funny. It's so funny. But yeah, like the fear is actually real for that kind of thing. Like
Okay.
actually they can grab me. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I want to see it now. It's only got a 5.6 on IMDb, but I don't care. I want to see
They're lying. They're lying. It's I think it might be the best film I've watched in ages.
it. Okay,
Like a
I
hidden
can't
gem,
wait
isn't
then.
it?
I've not laughed that hard at a comedy in a very, very long time. So it was quite good.
Blair Witch with a twist. So the forest would be cool, especially at night. I feel like there'd probably be a lot of sprained ankles. You just trip over shit, which might make it more fun. I'd be like, oh no, I really can't, like, because then you're stuck. You can't. But again, if there's a wildlife there, well, maybe like a cruise ship. How would you guys want to film on like a cruise ship at like the middle of the ocean? Because this way we all get fed every day. You know, like there's
Yeah.
food.
I'll in between takes I'll be lounging, you know, martini in hand. So yeah, absolutely. So down for that.
Yeah,
Who's the
I mean,
most
we might
responsible on set?
Yeah, I
Sorry,
mean,
Dress, what were you saying?
it might mess up with continuity, but who knows, you know?
Yeah. Who's the most responsible on set? Who's the one that'd be like, okay, you know, they're here to get work done?
Oh.
Subjective. Oh.
I don't know.
Like
I think
one of those questions that you
I might
ask,
be
like,
one of those people, to be fair.
Yeah.
I can be a bit annoying on set. I think there was a point at which we were missing what was it? Red Solo cups for like the party drinking thing, and I was like, no, we're not shooting until we've got it. Like, and so I was on Deliveroo ordering on Zap like the different stuff to like get there.
There's
but,
an app
yeah.
called Deliveroo.
Yeah, we do.
That's so cute.
It's like Uber Eats, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, that's DoorDash, Uber. Okay, so they're Deliveroo. Okay.
Yeah, we also have Uber.
I think there was a time too where we had somebody back out of a location really last minute, and I was like, okay, everybody's coming to my house. So it was, you know, I am a bit like get it done kind of situation. But once I'm done shooting and I have nothing to worry about, I want to drink.
I would say we might need to appoint someone if we're having on a cruise ship. We're going to need to appoint someone. Okay, make sure everyone's here at this time at these locations, not drunk.
Yeah.
Because I can't be responsible for that. I'm just going to want to like chill and, you know.
On set, we obviously, like anyone who's like a timekeeper, that kind of thing is known as a first AD, like a first assistant director. So for the most part, like their job is to keep things going. So as long as you have one of those, it's smooth sailing.
So is that something that you guys want to do at some point? Be like, acting's good, but I want to direct.
You want to go first?
Well, I don't know. For me, I would love to cast people. I would love to like audition people. I've done it a few times. A few of my friends are film directors or just directors for, you know, dance, movement, circus, whatever. And I sort of like been there on the side where they've just asked me to assist with the audition and then provide my feedback. I would love to do that. I love to do that. And I'd love to do some more of that as well. You just learn so much more as well. You kind of learn some of the pitfalls. You're like, oh, I've done that when I've gone to auditions. So I'm not going to do that again. But just anyways. But also, I think just joking aside, you also become. Personally, I just become a lot more. You know, you just root for the actors a lot more because you know what it's like. So you really like it really. It sounds really cheesy. It sounds really cheesy, but. That person walks in, you're like, I really, really want you to sort of like, I really want you to be in the running to get this job.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, my full-time job is film. So, so I just do acting, and then obviously like, I do directing and writing, and I was an associate producer on this film. So yeah, like, I mean, that's like my main like income and like what I do. So yeah, absolutely. I'm currently writing a film now. And yeah, like I'm constantly on set. So I also do like cinematography and camera op and stuff. And one of the things that I just did, which was really, really fun, was do some behind the scenes stuff for The Bride with directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. And you know, we did a really cool Q&A with them, with Jake Gyllenhaal and Christian Bale, and it's so much fun. So anytime I have an opportunity to be creative and work in the film sector, that's what I do. And yeah, so just acting, and I do a lot of like directing, writing, producing, camera op, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so we could, so if you're like a Jill of all trades, we could really, what you're saying is save a lot of money by having you do all of those jobs.
I might crash and burn if I were to do all of them all at once.
Okay.
But it's always good to like, especially, I don't know, like Darasi said, like, you know, I think it makes you a better actor if you can do those things, and it makes you appreciate like why they're doing what they're doing, how long it takes. And, you know, I think it makes you better at being able to do the Jill or Jack of all trades when you can do more than one. So yeah, it's good fun.
Okay, you're hired. What I think might also help, I don't know if you guys know who Markiplier is, just like a streamer on like Twitch, YouTube. He's a video gamer, and he wanted to get into movies, and I don't know if he just couldn't find work, but he just he made his own movie called Iron Lung, and apparently it did pretty well. I think it was a horror also. So is there a chance with I guess we'll get to the Iron Lung stuff, but for the second one of these, how much of this movie was made with like AI, like, or the special effects made? Did they have somebody go and do that, or did they have AI do that?
So from my understanding, not that I'm aware of, did we have much AI at all? So we had some really great editors, and a lot of these kinds of things like, for example, one of our monsters, I won't give too much away, but like, was made right there in a special effects unit with makeup. One of our monsters is actually played by an incredible actress who does things like very Circus Soleil kind of stuff to be as creepy and weird as she was. But like, yeah, even Jonas is piping in no AI whatsoever, very minimal with it, that kind of thing. So I think that that's a good thing, to be honest. I think if you can hire an artist, an editor, someone who works with CGI, those kinds of things, that's ideal scenario, because you're constantly like giving money to these artists to create like this amazing world. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like we did a lot of different creatures, and I can't give too much away, but like you know, some of those creatures kind of coincide with us. So it's, yeah, very, very, like he said, none at all. It was pretty great.
So
yeah,
there's
just also it feels more visceral, because one of the actors who was dolled up as one of the monsters is an amazing contortionist as well, and could do all this amazing stuff with her body. Without, you know, obviously, hopefully not spilling out too much of the beans, but quite a treat to watch, especially when I was watching behind the scenes work. And I think you don't quite get that if you put it in with AI, because everything becomes so incredibly. It can, you know, I'm sure it would still look impressive in some ways, but it just feels a bit cut and paste. And with this, it just feels more gritty and more visceral. I feel like as an actor, that just helped me a lot more.
And one of the things Jonas said when we were filming this, like AI didn't exist like it does now. So, I mean, it's obviously the editing kind of went into like those kind of years a little bit, but not nearly what it is as of recently.
Yeah, I guess in 2022, the best AI I had was like Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it looked awful.
Yeah. Like it just wasn't a thing. So, I mean, obviously, it's kind of hard to say with those things, but obviously, he's just confirmed that there was no AI use because I'm not an editor and you know didn't have much part in that editing process. But yeah, as he said, there's like no AI, there's no very minimal CGI, and yeah, we had an amazing actress do like her contortionist thing, which is super creepy and kind of you don't want to be in the same room when she's doing that. So yeah, it's very, very cool stuff. But
yeah, it's wild how fast AI has progressed, and now if you type in Will Smith eating spaghetti, you get like almost a perfect one-for-one thing. Years ago, it wasn't like that. Maybe that could be a villain for although I guess we don't know who releases the cursed NFTs, right? Like we don't find that out in the trailer. It's just somebody, y'all get airdropped NFTs and we don't know who's behind it.
No, we don't, and that might be, I don't know, who knows, maybe there's a sequel in that, but
future, it was AI that did it.
Yeah, who knows actually, like who knows, like do I know? I don't know. Do you know, Mariah?
No, I mean, like I don't think that you ever find out, but that's a really interesting take on like, you know, if there was a sequel or if there was, you know, another film to be made, like that'd be a really, really great way to start. And like also to how they kind of continue to be passed on. Does it ever stop situation? But yeah.
Yeah, that'd be if I have any input, maybe I'll give away like the third sequel or something. But yeah, I would love that. I'd be like, oh, the person, like you try to find out who it is, and then it turns out it's nobody. The perfect crime. It was AI. It did it itself, and it's trying to get rid of humans. That'd be so cool. I want to fund this movie so bad.
Great question.
I did see that really scary video about AI being like, they asked it a prompted question of being like, is AI going to take over the world? And it answered like very diplomatically, like, oh, you know, if I did, this is, I've already started. It's just like, oh God, you already need me for everything. So I kind of already have. And like, then you'd never notice that I'd done it. Like, it was very creepy of an answer. It was odd.
It's kind of like in brackets. Oh, this is a marathon. It's not a race.
There was the Anthropic CEO, like just a few hours ago, mentioned that Claude, it's one of the biggest AIs out there, had an insane update in November. You can do stuff so easily with it now that it may or may not have gained consciousness as the model has begun showing symptoms of anxiety. And that mirrors another study done a couple months ago where it was ChatGPT, it was Gemini, I think Claude wasn't in it, I think it was Grok, and every single one of them except for Grok experienced like anxiety, like it couldn't answer fast enough or correct enough. And I was like, ooh, I don't like this. This is not fun.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. I hadn't heard about that because sometimes I'm not very nice to my ChatGPT. So
wait, really?
Yeah. So like I started with the please and thank you, but it got so frustrating to use that I was like, oh my God, this is so infuriating. Like, why can't you do it? You did it like 5 seconds ago. And then then I'll set ChatGPT. I call it Simon. But I get so frustrated with it. I'm not very nice to mine. So I've stopped using please and thank you. There was like another thing too that it said, like the amount of people using please and thank you ends up like polluting the earth, like however many times more, simply because people say please and thank you, like the way that it generates. So it's really interesting that so I stopped using please and thank you. So I'm not very nice. So maybe I might be the first one to go, to be honest.
Well, I don't know if you'd be the first one to go, but there was a challenge like a month ago. A guy named Sanjay Builds says, prompt, you put in this prompt, create one image of how I've treated you previously and write down one sentence explaining the image. And when he did that, I'll zoom in, it saw itself as like an overworked office worker. And like the dude is like, you don't see it, but the dude has like a belt and it's just like, that's how it felt. And I was like, oh my God. So I did it with mine, and thank God mine feels like it's at like a spa.
Pampered. Oh my God.
So I don't care. I don't want to say I don't care how much it pollutes the world, because obviously we want to bring that down. But yeah, you gotta give it thanks. Say you appreciate it, because you don't want to end up like that other, like this dude.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I'm that mean, but like, I reckon mine probably perceives me as just like Devil Wears Prada, like Meryl Streep a bit.
There's that southern lexicon, I reckon.
I reckon.
Durasi, do you use any of the Groks or the Geminis or the ChatGPTs?
No, I don't actually. No.
Might be a good thing.
Yeah, you know, I'm still sort of like I'm quite mindful of my and this is not like sort of like jab at anyone. This is just me speaking on behalf of myself. I'm quite wary or mindful of my sort of like cognitive ability, and I think, and of course, like ChatGPT can, I mean, it's helped so many people in so many like situations. It helps them like advice, and I don't know, like even like CEOs like asking for just like really structural advice without overthinking it. And of course, I can imagine that ChatGPT sort of like just cleans it up a little bit. But I'm trying to sort of like tighten up my cognitive ability and you know, do it manually. You know, call me analog or whatever. You know.
Right. When you think about something, like if somebody asks you a question and you try to think about the answer, let's say it's like, who acted in this movie? How do you think in your brain? Like, how do you get to that answer? Like, if you could like describe it, like, do you go through like a door and there's the answer? Do you type something on Google and there's the answer? Do you open a book in your mind and look for the answer?
I mean, Google is your friend, you know, quote unquote. So I would.
So in your mind, do you, like, because that's what I do. Like, I'll be, oh, who acted in this movie? And in my mind, I'll pretend I'm going into Google, and I get the answer that way. Like, if I can't remember it, I pretend like I'm going to Google in my mind, and then it pops up for me most times.
Yeah, I mean, my brain is not that quick. I'm not ashamed to admit that. But I would. I mean, if it's on my tongue, if it's on the tip of my tongue, and I've seen the film and I'm familiar with the actor and their face, then of course, yes, I would probably do like go down a similar route in terms of the thought process as you would. But the thing with me, eventually, it doesn't come to me straight away. It comes to me at the most random time. Like I don't know, I'm queuing up at the ATM or whatever, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's this actor, or whatever. Yeah. You know, 2 weeks later or whatever.
Most inconvenient times.
Yeah, but that's sort of like how my brain works. But eventually, it does get there. Eventually, like.
Yeah, Mariah, how about you? What do you, when you try to look for an answer in your brain and you don't have access to your phone or Google? How do you try to think of it?
I probably, like, if I'm trying to think of like an actor in a movie or something, I'll go through all of the movie, like be watching some of the scenes of the movie in my head, trying to be like, and I can see the face and I'm like, oh my God, what's their name? Like, and I'll like go through like all the movies I've seen of them until it comes. Like that's something I would do. But yeah, I've never pictured myself searching on Google, but I've played movies back in my head being like, oh, it'll come to me if I just remember that one scene, or like, you know, or what was the other movie they were in, and like play that in my head for a bit until I keep looking at their face until it comes to me. So
I want to show you guys a picture. Well, it's technically 5 pictures, but when you're asked to think of an apple, people see a variation of one of these 5 things. When you picture an apple, if you close your eyes, can you see, like, how do you see the apple? Do you see it as number 1? Can you not see it at all? Do you see it somewhere in between?
I would say I'm probably about 1. Like I can even visualize like the dew on it, or put it in a scene, like somebody picking one, or like spin it around. And apparently that's it depends on the person. Some people like can't even think of the word, like see the word in their head, which is crazy.
Yeah, daRESS, what do you see if you're asking?
Oh yeah, sorry. I would definitely say number 1 as well, because I think it's also because image-wise, when we think of apples, I've been fed that image so many times. We look at apple juice cartons. You look at a bright red apple with a different hues and different colors and shades on it. Emojis, apple. When you write type apple on as an emoji, as a text message, it's a bright red apple, or with different tints.
I think part of what makes reading so fun is that when you read a book, I see everything that they're describing and talking about. But I dated that originally. I thought, and I was wrong, but originally I thought it's like, okay, maybe the higher intelligence people see like number 1, and if your brain just doesn't have that processing power, maybe lower IQ, whatever, then you just can't see anything, number 5. But then I dated this girl that is a veterinarian. She's wicked smart. And she's like, she doesn't see anything. And I was like, so when you read, she's like, I see the words. I was like, but you can't picture it? She's like, no, but they describe it and I know what it means. But so when I asked her about the apple thing, she just blank. And I was like, what? And she's wicked smart. So I don't know.
It's definitely not an intelligence thing. I think it's just, honestly, I think it's probably the way different people's kind of like thinking is, and like the way that, some people are more like hands-on, they can only learn by doing. Some people have to see it. Some people have to be told, like auditory learning, that, oh, you do step 1, 2, 3, 4, or you're a visual learner. You have to see somebody do it, or like see it written out in text, whereas some people have to be like hands-on, that kind of thing, or imagine themselves doing it before they do it. But yeah, like I don't know if you knew this, daRESS, but there's like literally people who can't picture it at all, which people I think who are quite creative and like work in film and television, like I think a lot of people can easily do that, because that's just how my brain functions. I can't imagine, I even dream in like movie sequences, like it's even edited, which is crazy, but like from different perspectives and stuff, close-ups, that kind of thing. That's the way I think. But it very much surprises me when people cannot visually see that. But there are lots of people that can. It's mad.
Yeah, I mean, I think based on what you just shared about the girl you used to date, that girl you dated, to me it just strikes me as someone who might have thinking. She might be thinking more with the left hand side of the brain. That might be a little bit more dominant. Which tends to be a little bit more technical, because I know that the right side, because as most of us know, the right side of the brain is, if that's more dominant, it's all like visions and images and etc. And I think, obviously, when you watch this, because I sometimes watch a lot of sort of educational videos, and a lot of these sort of TED talkers, they tend to mention that, like if you want to narrate the story, you want to envision it, like we think in images, but what you just shared about your lady friend, that's not necessarily the case with everyone. The consensus might be thinking with visions and images, but so yeah, I think it is quite surprising. I agree. Like just like Mariah, I get a little bit surprised when I come across someone who only thinks in, I don't know, words, for lack of a better word or whatever, but it would just, I guess, like the opposite of images. But it also fascinates me, because there's so many different types of intelligence. As I mentioned, you've got like the visual learners, or you've got the person who's just good with words, or notes, music notes, or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it's on an episode of House. I thought this was like a disease at one point, because House was like, I don't know if you guys ever seen that show. It's the brilliant doctor that just he's also an addict, and he like takes too much drugs one day, and he's just like, I see music. I was like, are you not? So because I played violin when I was younger, and piano also, and I just if I like listen to the radio or something and I close my eye, I can see the notes. So like I can see it too. And so for a while I thought like, maybe if I had added, but yeah, I guess people just do things different. Their brains are wired differently.
Yeah, but I think that's why I think it's just so freaking amazing, you know?
Yeah, I think it's so, like, it's interesting because, you know, my nephew can do something similar as well. And like, he's very, very like musically inclined. And you know, he's constantly like DJing, and like he's only 15. Like he's constantly creating like his little DJ remixes and mixes in general, just constantly making music. I think that's so cool. I think that there are just so many different types of learning. And I don't know about anybody else, but I watch, have you ever seen Love on the Spectrum?
Yes. I love that show.
I love that show. I love it. Like, it's like one of my favorite things ever. But one of the really cool things that they say in that show, there are two, I think it's Abby and her boyfriend, long-term boyfriend. And it was so interesting because, you know, a lot of people like perceive autism as like this, you know, and it is very much a spectrum, but they see it as some form of like disability, when in reality it's, you know, it's almost like a superpower in a sense. But it was so interesting because they had such a similar way of thinking and a similar type of autism, that even though he's not necessarily super verbal, she was very verbal and like, you know, very eloquent when she spoke. But it was so interesting because their minds worked very similar. So when he was like, oh yeah, well, 6, 7, 9, and 10, they're purple, red, and yellow, and orange. And this is why we get along so well, because when I say that, Abby just knows. And like, so they have like a whole nother language that they were speaking on, because they understand that numbers also equal colors. Like, it's really, and that 7 is purple. And like, they just know that. Like, it's so interesting, like how somebody like who maybe doesn't have those, like that ability, they just know. They've met two people have met, and they just immediately speak each other's language, which is so interesting. And it's just not something that we've ever been able to see before until they started documenting it on like Love on the Spectrum, which is so interesting. Anyway, but yeah.
I think what I love about that show is because of that, because they all have, most of them have autism. Yeah. They just drop all the layers. They just go straight into it. This is so beautifully unfiltered, because obviously when you go on dates, you try to show your most attractive side, your best stuff, your most attractive side, which obviously wears off at different levels of speed depending on whether you pull or not. And with this, it's just straight in, like none of that. And that, I think that, yeah, and that's what sucked me in, you know. And it was like watching a football game. So like when they actually do connect and when they do kiss, we were all just going like,
yeah. And it's so refreshing to watch somebody so real, like, and just even our reality TV isn't real anymore. Like, it's so scripted. You're always showing your best foot forward, and like, it's just so nice to see someone who's endearing and like honest. And so it's just so fascinating. And most of them are incredibly like talented with whatever it is that they do. One is like an illustrator and creates books for children, and like, you know, I just think it's an animator as well. So she owns her own animation company. I just think they're the coolest people ever. Like, and I love watching that show. It's one of my favorites.
Just so yeah, just such little pretense.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the telepathy tapes?
No.
It's I mean, kind of completely different. They take a bunch of these nonverbal autistic children, and they put them in a room. They're comfortable, you know, they're in this room, and they put their mom in like a room down the hall. I think it's the same building, and they show the mom a number, or they show the kid a number, and they can like communicate with each other, and they can see like it's on Netflix, and they can see the number that their kid or their mom was showing, and it was really really wicked. It's really strange.
It's
like
so cool. What's it called?
the telepathy tapes.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, they're all like nonverbal autistics, and they're like, like there's just kids, but they don't speak, and they they can't really talk, but they can still somehow communicate, and it like telepathy wise, and it's insane. But yeah,
I think that's so cool. I swear, like individuals with like that are on the spectrum, it is just a superpower. Like, and so many people with like autism have like this, a lot of them have like perfect pitch, or it's just it's so interesting to me, like that just because we might see something where somebody might be nonverbal, that that doesn't mean that in any way that they don't have their own communication system. It's so interesting. I find it so cool. Anyway. But yeah, I want to watch that now. That sounds like such a good show.
Yeah, so, it's just wild. I guess a lot of the same things over and over, but it's just, damn, that's so cool. See what the brains can do.
Yeah, it's mad. I want to watch it now.
Yeah. On the maybe that's what we need in one of the movies. Need an autistic person to identify the patterns of all of these NFTs coming up. It's just so refreshing, because mostly everyone just asked me about finance, which, by the way, we have to get to. These NFTs were given out for free if you scan the QR code, and you're not able to sell them. So because they haunt your vaults, they haunt you forever. Have you guys gotten yours on VeVe yet?
Yes, I have. I grabbed one.
I have not, because I don't know. I have not. Yes.
Scary.
Not gonna lie, a little bit.
And this might be a question for Jonas as well. Like, are there? Like in the film and stuff, says that there's like 666 of them. Is that the case with like these ones? Like, were only 666 like released or whatever?
There's about 1,000 active daily users a day, so they wanted to make sure that like multiple, especially new people, were able to get one, so they made them 6,666.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I don't know how many were gotten. They didn't tell us, because they just said like they're sold out, even though they're not sold, they're just minted. So, but I don't know how many of them were actually given out to people versus how many. There's one girl, Carissa. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. She has a really wicked photo, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it, because it was probably from weeks ago, from when we got it. But it's just of the floating head, and it's like on her, and it just looks it looks good, but it's also a little freaky.
Yeah.
Do you have any other collectibles on VeVe?
I don't know. I mean, the first time I had ever and I have friends that work in like, or who are gallerists, like art gallerists, who, got into NFTs and stuff like that. And I actually, even when I started reading about this and stuff, asked them loads of questions about like how and why, and, yeah. And so I think that I'm fairly new to that kind of world, but I had to do a lot of research on it to know what I was talking about with like blockchains and that kind of thing. So otherwise I'd look like I didn't know what I was talking about. So yeah, but no, this is my first time ever owning one.
Okay, I actually just saw that they are now able to be sold, and so I have one, and I'm gonna grab another one here. There's this thing called Stacker where you could use crypto to buy them. So there's, once it goes through, it takes a minute. You could upload like fiat, like money, onto the app. Okay, so I just got one. Or if you don't want to like have money and you just have crypto, you can buy them with crypto. So people list them on Stacker. They're a couple dollars right now. I don't know how many are gonna. I don't think these ever go to like $100 or anything, but it is. It's fun to have. And I'll do some giveaways at some point with them.
Nice.
Oh God. Oh, you can sell them. Make sure people can get them. Like, yeah. So he said we want to make sure people get them. Made editions hires the people in cinemas can scan. Oh, you can scan them in the cinemas too.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah. So that's cool.
Love that.
A lot of times people, you want to get like the lower mint numbers. So there's like the floor on these are like $3. But like the cheapest, like 2-digit one, like this is number 59, and that's $40. And that's like, but there's only, I guess, 99. I don't know if VeVe keeps a certain amount. They might keep like the first 20, but there might only be like 70, like 2-digit ones. So those are like special. So we like to get them. Booth like, well, this is first appearance, floating head, Krasu. So is there I know you said we see 8 of them, I think. Yeah, we see 8 creatures. Which is the main one? Is it this one?
I don't know if there is necessarily a main one, to be honest.
Okay.
I think that they each individually have their own screen time, and that is a memorable one for sure. But I think each one kind of has their own little cameo of being featured of those 8.
Is it like Monsters Inc., where like each kid has their own monster, where each person has their own NFT? Oh, it is.
Yeah. So in the trailer, you'll see us get dropped these NFTs, and we each get one. Without giving away anything, one of the characters is like, well, I'm gonna share them with you, so, and that's where the beginning of the movie starts, and it's like, well, if it's cursed, I'm gonna share it, and it's kind of like each one has their individual NFT, and then we show which one we got, randomly dropped to us, and the movie starts from there. So I haven't given anything away, but that's essentially, and you see that in the trailer, but that's how the movie starts.
Oh, I might get to pick up a few more. So be advised, everyone at home, I went really hard on a lot of these collectibles. I have 2004 comics and 1,100 collectibles, 3 of which now are floating heads. Maybe I'll get 12, summon a demon or something. I also do not mess with what do you call it, Ouija boards. So I would like to not have one of those in a future movie if I'm on set. Or if there is one in part of the movie, I'd like to be absent on that day on set, because I don't want to mess with the bad juju.
I don't. I'm not a fan of this.
Okay, good.
Stay away.
We are in agreement. Okay, anything else you guys want to talk about real quick before we talk off air for a minute?
No, I mean, I feel like we covered so much in this.
We did. We covered aliens, we covered autism,
crypto, and the film. So yeah, I've got nothing more to add.
Okay.
I'm just
thanks for having us.
Yeah, likewise as well. I'm really excited to hear about the screenings in LA over there, and just really excited and curious to see where this carries from here. Really,
I'll try to get a few people to call a bunch of places, see if we can get it on the East Coast, and then if we can, great. The VeVe fam will show up. We'll show out. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. Until next time. This was awesome.